Hello and welcome to this video where we are going to play with sweet orange essential oil for the Sagittarius cycle, sun cycle. And so if you would like to embody the Sagittarius energy and also to just help burn off any stuckness, damp, heavy energy that maybe keeps you from expanding, then this video is for you. And so who am I and what am I doing and why am I doing? What am I offering for you? My name's Jenny King. I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I'm an aromatherapist. And I like to do something called acuaromatherapy, where we put an essential oil on an acupoint for the purpose of actually moving our chi in a specific way. So instead of needles, that needle that I might use as an acupuncturist in the treatment room, I'm using essential oils. And so I'm actually allowing you to put the power of Chinese medicine in your hands. So you can get this oil, you can use the point, you can use it for transformation in your mind, body, and spirit. And I like to pair the oils and points with some astrology during the time that a sign comes up and we're in Sagittarius season. So in today's video, I'm just going to offer up an oil and an acupoint for the Sagittarius season. And each of the astrological signs, personalities, as we go through the zodiac, offers up a little facet of our soul, of our spirit, that we can learn from in the time that it's active. And right now we're active in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is this energy of expansion. It's the archer, the centaur with standing and reaching towards a focus and, slinging the arrow to let it loose. And it's ruled by Jupiter, which is this planet of luck and expansion. And so it has this very you can't see my arms going out of the video, but if I were to, you can imagine what it would feel like to inhale and expand all the way out to the edges. That is the energy of Sagittarius. It is looking towards the future. It's moving. It's mutable sign. So it's kind of undoing things and creating the next thing, bringing in the next thing with what it's focusing on. So it's a very fun and sort of playful energy. It likes to travel. It likes to study new things. But what I'd like to offer with this practice is a lot of times, the world is heavy, and we tend to, and we can get heavy in our lives. And so we're going to bring in sweet orange, which is an oil that actually, the peel of the oranges are often used to move energy in Chinese medicine into what's called drain dampness, which basically what it means is it helps get you unstuck and it helps move the heavy energy. So we're going to play with that energy of orange to help move the chi and help unstick our energy and help with that sort of any heaviness you might be feeling. And I love orange because it has its own expansive energy. I brought an orange for show and tell. And you just look at it, the orange color, the roundness of it kind of mimics that expansive wholeness that we can tap into with orange. If you cut it open, it has all the different rays, and we're using this root that is, and we're using it in a very concentrated form on our acupoint to help us tap into the expansiveness of the Sagittarius season. And it is the end of the year, right? And we're going into the holidays, and there's a lot to do here. But I think it's cool that oranges in Asian cultures are used for luck and prosperity. And we're going into this darkest time of the year, and I feel like Sagittarius and this orange medicine is really kind of bring back some lightness into something that can feel like a little bit of a slog as we're moving forward. And so let's expand into our edges when we might be feeling tired or shut down, and kind of help move away some of the weariness. So I'm gonna grab my oil. Excuse me. And my oil, this is my sweet orange citrus sinensis, and it is, I have it at a 25% dilution. So that means I have 25% of sweet orange in my bottle, and then 75% of the jojoba. And when we do acuaromatherapy, are only doing a single oil on an acupoint. We're not like rubbing it all over our body. It's a pretty high concentration. So that's why we're just doing a single oil and point. So I just want to make that perfectly clear. And so our point today is pericardium 8, the palace of weariness. And you might recognize this point if you do Reiki or energy work. You're gathering moving chi, extending it, drawing it in through your hands. Our hands are very relational. It's where we reach out to other people and take things in. It's our fire element. This point is connected to our fire, our life force energy. And it can get tired. Like we can get tired. So it's with all of our relating in the world between us and others, from self to self, from us and the bigger world at large. So we're going to bring in our happy, sweet orange. Sweet orange, I feel like has a very childlike presence to it, and it's very clarifying, and again, just helps move off whatever's there and lifts our spirits at the same time. It has that very, almost like the rays of the sun. So I always like to start by smelling my oil. And when you smell, you can just wave the bottle underneath your nose back and forth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just actually going to drop a drop right into my hand. And the point I'm going for is between my second and third finger. And I'm going to go down. There's a valley between the fingers, and there's actually a deep hollow. That's where we're going. And because this is, it's not a needle, which is nice because this could be a painful point to needle. It's a powerful point though. But because it's an oil, we don't have to be so precise as we would maybe if we were using a needle. So you can take your other hand and just lay it, almost like I cross them over because it's easier because it's curved, and just lay it on top. And it's almost like I'm holding my own hand. I'm also closing this loop. So I'm not putting my energy out, I'm bringing my energy home. And I'm going to sit, and I'm going to listen, and I'm going to hold, and I'm going to accept and let it do its dance. So it's a pretty light hold. I'm not pressing really hard. It's almost like I'm just letting my hands kiss each other. And I'm going to bring my attention to my breath, dropping down and into myself. I'm going to hold for about 60 seconds, just letting the oil just to do its work to begin with before I start to kind of move and play with it a little bit more. And if you do this practice, I would invite you to almost consider like the point in oil, like the oil is moving through a doorway or a portal into your body. Begins to stir your chi, and there's a bit of surrender and acceptance and welcoming that needs to come from you. And curiosity. This is play. I just felt myself shift a little bit. There's something just kind of opened in my low belly. I felt like I wanted to take a deeper breath. I just felt like a little bit more soft. A little clearer. A little bit more settled. So I'm going to rub my hands together. Take a nice deep breath. And that could be your complete practice. But if you'd like to bring your hands to your chest, we can do a little bit of breathing together and really taking that sweet orange and feeling, doing some movement, almost like a little qigong movement, to take the orange and really expand into the Sagittarius sort of Jupiter energy of expansion. So we're going to take our hands to our heart. And on your inhale, you're just going to bring your hands all the way out. You can imagine like this orange filling your field. It's happy and bright. Exhale. Letting anything that's not serving you, anything that is not serving your light to be exhaled out of your breath, out of your lungs, out of your body. And then just doing that for maybe 10 breath cycles. So Sagittarius, you can keep going. Sagittarius is like it's kind of fearless. They're fierce and fearless, and they just kind of go for it. And so if you need to bring some of that back in, you're feeling again heavy or weariness. This point is called the Palace of Weariness. Let sweet orange to come in and burn that off. Let it take away that film of heavy, damp stuckness and help bring back some light and life into you. Now, I don't want this video to get too long, but I want to offer up, if you don't have sweet orange, you can take an orange. I've been playing with this and I like kind of swirl it, take the ends here and I swirl it around a little bit in that point. So I'm activating the point. And just inviting it in. This is a very playful practice, right? This is sacred play. We're just having some fun. Luck and prosperity. A little bit of happiness, joyful playfulness of exploration, right? And you can do that. And then you could do your practice of breathing and then maybe sit down and write, like, what brings you joy? What do you want to study? Where do you want to travel? Even if it's armchair traveling, get a book and like look up a place that you've always wanted to go to, or memories of places that you've been. But where are your edges? What brings you joy and a sense of exploration and movement in your life? And that, my friends, is a way to play sweet orange and Sagittarius in this last part of autumn before we get into the very darkest part of the year. Let's bring some sweet orange in to help us hold our lantern to move into this really dark part of the year. All right? So much love from my heart to yours. Mwah.